Hello, welcome back. Today we're making a gorgeous Asian noodle salad with a sunflower dressing. Now often Asian dressings might use peanuts or something like that to give a really nutty, creamy kind of flavour. I use sunflower seeds in this one because at the school that I'm working in today, it's a nut-free kitchen because a lot of kids have nut allergies these days. And using sunflower seeds, especially when we toast them off, to enhance their nutty flavour really gives us all that nuttiness that we get from nuts without the nuts. So let's get started. We're going to start with some flat rice noodles. You could use any kind of rice noodle, it doesn't really matter. You can prepare them according to the instructions on the packet. With these ones, they're not overly big. I'm just going to soak them in some boiling water for about 10 minutes. And I'll just set that aside and we can start toasting our sunflower seeds. Just use a dry fry pan. We've got 4 tablespoons of sunflower seeds. We just want to keep them moving around the bottom of the pan until they're golden brown and give off a really nice nutty aroma. While those are cooking, let's get started on our vegetables. We're using some cabbage, and look at this gorgeous little cabbage picked fresh from the garden today. The recipe says 1/4 of a cabbage. Now I think that I can use perhaps this whole thing because it is so small. And we're using some carrots as well. Now because it's come straight from the garden, I'm actually going to shred it and then give it a second wash because with organic vegetables, often we will have more bugs and things. And what did I tell you? A little caterpillar, can you see it? Okay, I'm just going to finely shred our cabbage. And I'll just go and give this a rinse with some cold water. It needs to be really well drained, so I'm just going to let it sit there and continue to drain while we prepare our other ingredients. And I think our sunflower seeds are ready. Just pop them back into the bowl. They smell so good. Okay, here's our carrots that we're going to use. Aren't they gorgeous? I've given them a scrub, but there were some little areas that I couldn't quite get into. I don't want to peel them completely because the peel is full of really good nutrients and flavour. So what I'm going to do is just trim away those parts that I can't quite reach with the brush and leave the rest. Chop off the stems and then we're great. Start with the little one first. And now the big one. Now I'm going to put together my salad in this enormous big bowl. Yes, I know it looks like it's too big for the job, but I really love using really big mixing bowls when I'm using a lot of leafy herbs and things like that, because they don't get squashed. There's lots of room for everything to move. So let's put everything in here. And goes our cabbage, all our grated carrot, and let's check our noodles. Oh, they look great. I'm going to drain them off and run them under some cold water to stop that softening process. Again, I'm just going to let them drain for a while. We don't want to bring any excess water from the rice noodles into our salad because it's just going to dilute the dressing. Okay, now that they're well drained, I actually just want to tip them out onto the board and run the knife through them a few times. I find that it's much easier to serve the salad when you haven't got huge, big, long pieces of rice noodle. So just a few times. We don't need them small, we just don't want them super long. And into the bowl. Now we're ready to prepare our herbs. We want some spring onions. Just tidy up the little ends by pulling those kind of little loose bits off. And I'm going to slice them on the diagonal today. Some mint. I'm just going to take the leaves off the stems because the stems will be a little bit too chewy if we leave them in. Give it a rough chop, but not too fine. Some basil leaves. Same thing as the mint. Take the leaves off the stems and give them a rough chop. And some coriander. Coriander stems tend to be softer than mint and basil, so if they do feel fairly soft, we can chop them and just put them straight in. Okay, there's our beautiful salad. Just going to use my hands to toss it, providing of course your hands are really clean, which they should be if you're cooking. I find that hands are a lot better for tossing salads than spoons or tongs because you can be much more gentle and avoid bruising the delicate leaves of the herbs. Let's set that aside now and make our dressing. So into the blender we're going to put our sunflower seeds. Just make sure they've cooled down before you pop them in. Some tamari or light soy sauce, some lime juice, and some maple syrup. Now we're going to give that a blend and we're going to add a little bit of water as well just to thin it out. Okay, that looks pretty good. It's pretty nice and runny but not too thin. We just need to taste it now and make sure it's good. The things that you would add to adjust would be a little bit more tamari for saltiness, some lime juice if you feel it needs some more tanginess, or a touch more maple syrup if you think it needs to be a little bit sweeter. I'm happy with that. I'm not going to add anything else. Now let's put together our salad. Now you could just pour the whole lot through, that would be fine. Today I'm going to just serve it up onto a plate and drizzle a little bit over the top. Finish with a few extra little leaves on top. And there you have a very beautiful, fresh and delicious Asian noodle salad with sunflower dressing.